last night. I was trying to say, like, I feel like I'm just addicted to being comfortable, but they're like, you're not wanting to live there forever, you know? You're not wanting to, you don't feel comfortable, but you feel comfortable in your situation, but not the entire circumstances. And I'm like, oh, yeah, so this was, like, kind of going on. It's a beautiful day here. Oh. For those of you who don't know, if you don't have TikTok, I have recently kind of popped off, and in the best way possible, because if you have been here for a long time, you know that I've started out doing content with van life, and I stopped doing van life, and then a lot of people stopped engaging with me because they joined me for a specific thing, and I realized, hey, you need to make content that's not around your lifestyle completely. Do it around your interests, but not around your lifestyle, because your lifestyle will change. Maybe. It has the ability to change. And sometimes your interests, but like, I don't want to live a life for content creation. I don't want to live a certain way just because that's where the money is. That's like not true to me. And like Mulan says, you got to be true to your heart. I have this series called Third Space, and I go around my hometown right now just seeing if places get third space or not. And that has gotten the attention of quite a few people. And I am in the midst of something now, and that's been really exciting and really encouraging. But I'm really happy because it's not based around my lifestyle. It's based around an interest that I'm really passionate about. It's the loss of third spaces in the U.S. If you don't know what a third space is, which a lot of people don't, or a third place,
I'm listening, by the way.
People like to argue that like third space and third place is not the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? It's like using the wrong there. It's like you can see through. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example, but anyways. So in sociology, places refer to places that you hang out. So your first place is your home. Second place is work. And the third place, the secret third place, is where you go to like have a sense of community, where you go to hang out, where you can meet people that is not your home or work. And third places are really prominent all around the world. And I think the best places that I've experienced third places have been, hopefully, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but the best third places I've ever been to have been in Europe, where you can go to a cafe, you can get a cup of coffee, you can literally stay there all day and not have to worry about people being like, are you done? Can you leave now? So that's a third place. Examples of third places are bars, cafes, clubs, associations, lodges, just like hangout places, we would put it in layman's terms. Since I've traveled before, not to be pretentious, but like I've been outside the US and then coming back, I'm so sad. And it's not because I'm in this pipe dream of like, I hate America, or like, I hate this and the other. It's just, there is a lot less walkable cities. And if you're not in a walkable city, you're in suburbia where everything's connected by cars. And that can be kind of a drag to like connect with people.
Yeah, I like that.
And lo and behold, the walkable cities here are really expensive. So like, what's going on? Where can we find the third places that are not in cities? So that's what I've been doing.
I don't like that.
And it's just like an interview style, not interview style, just like more like game show style. And yeah, it's just taken off. So I've been in a whirlwind with this little trip, seeing my friends, seeing the vibe, and if I still want to move here. And then while doing business stuff, I just got an email today that someone tried to take my domain from me. And I'm like, oh, you can't do that. I'm a businesswoman. After the second video went really well, I was like, I should get this domain. So suck it to me, you know? But, it was really nice. It's just like, I think the right timing will show itself here. It's just like, you know, back home, I will be in my head like, oh, I want to be in New York. It doesn't matter that I'm here. Like, it only matters, my life only matters once I'm in the place that I want to be. And oh my gosh, that's not true. This is a great reminder that you are where you go. Like, wherever you go, there you are. And I have to really focus on, like, sure, I don't have all my friends back home, and I can't be as social and really connect with people my age who are going through similar things and having similar paths. I'm with people who are much older and wiser. That's great. But you can still like live a full life. And I like knew that, right? But seeing it in real time, unless you experience it, you really don't know. That's been a great reminder. There's like a little band playing off the yonder. Maybe you can hear it. Hopefully not, because I want this audio to be good. I'm also like eating the mic, I understand. As a singer, songwriter, no, just a singer. I'm really used to just eating the mic and having it right on my mouth. For the sound people, they love that. For this level of talking, obviously if you're allowed to move it away, but I digress. Also, if anyone's afraid of New York and if anyone has anything negative to say about it, listen, I understand it's not perfect. New York is not perfect whatsoever. But it's also not a hellscape. It's also not, like, a pit hole. I would say, like, probably check out the news that you're consuming, because people like to spin stories. And whenever I talk to people back home and they're like, oh my gosh, you went there? Why would you want to go there? It's like, just tell me you've never been. Tell me you've heard other people's one opinion, and I'll be on my way. Being here, and it's not like maybe what you think either by my comment. It's not like some free-loving hippie space. There's a lot of everything here, and that's why I like it. There's a lot of everything. And it's all walkable. It feels so accessible. It's not perfectly accessible, but compared to suburbia, it's so much fun. Anyways, guys, now I gotta go to my friend's house. I have to get on the transit, probably take an Uber or a Lyft, depending on what's cheaper. But I just want to say, hey, even though I'm traveling, I still want to check in with you guys, especially for everyone who has really enjoyed the staying home video. Like, thank you for all the love on that. We're all in this together. What a time in the life of Ryan, right? Anyways, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys. Ooh, honk.
It's been 10 minutes already?
What was it?
Not 10 minutes. I thought the video was 10 minutes. That was 8. Shit. Advice for younger 20s. Well, not 20 yet, but I'm basically 20 in terms of how I act.
Unstoppable. Maybe the Queen of England. But alas,
Fuck,
I
I've
can't
got
do
my
that. So
melody,
hopefully I
yes.
can help out some other young people. Or people of any ages. But really, this is for the girlies. This is advice from an elder 20 to a younger 20. And obviously, if you're not a girl, you can still take this advice. I'm just thinking about this through the perspective of younger Madison. So with that in mind, this is what you should do right now. Number 1, don't worry about making so much money. Yes, make money. But you don't need to go after a $100K job. Listen, money is money, and if I could be making $100K, that would be amazing. But in my young 20s, that should be time reserved for adventure, traveling, and trying everything. Not putting your nose in the grinder of something that you could hop into at any moment. I understand entry jobs and all that stuff, but like, you can start later in your later 20s. But in your early 20s, let's see stuff. Let's experience. Let's become a well-rounded human being, and then do the workforce. Because listen, I'm saying this because I've seen people now in their later 20s, my friends and other acquaintances, who just hit the ground running, went after the corporate job, got that high-rent apartment, and just lived like they were 35. I'm assuming that's what they wanted, but at the same time, I don't think they understand that they were signing up for a gilded cage, and they have no perception what it means to not have money. So when opportunities present themselves to travel or take this risky business, or like to start up, do something that they want to do, but it's not based out of sure money, their heart's in it, but the rest of their whole life and their body, whatever, nervous system is out, and they're set in their ways because they signed up at a young age and this is all they knew. And I'm not saying this is everyone, this is like 9 times out of 10, but I'm seeing friends alongside myself who now are making money, and quite frankly, I've caught up to my friends who are doing corporate life from the jump. I don't let money moves dictate my moves, and obviously I don't have what they have, but I'm able to execute my artistic desires and make that eventually work for me business-wise, rather than being like, well, I can't really do that because, you know, I have to do the safe and sure route. Again, to each their own. But I just wish I had some type of, pat on the back of like, what you're doing will work out. You don't have to worry about making so much money all right now. Number 2, I want you guys to have fun, right? Have all the fun in the world. But there's a certain degree that you have to understand that marriage is marketing. Think about it. The movies that we grew up with, what was the end goal for the girl characters? To get the boyfriend, to get married. Bam. After that, roll credits, movie's over. I don't know. She got the man. That's all that mattered. And what I'm not saying is that marriage is bad and no young person should get married. If you find your person, congrats. I wish I found my person. But I'm not going to get into a relationship just because I feel like I'm missing out. I'm not going to get a relationship just because I'm like, oh, this guy works. I want to get into a relationship because he's my best friend, and I'm his best friend, and he sees me as a person, not a maid. I see him as my partner in life, not someone who just gives me money. I think for the longest time, like probably up till a few years ago, I thought this, that dying alone was the most saddest thing ever. Like whenever I heard someone else like, oh, so-and-so, they died alone, they didn't have a whatever, I'm like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing! Wrong. You know what's embarrassing? Dying with someone who hates you. Dying with someone that you cannot stand. That's more embarrassing. I do not want to waste my life with someone that I just rushed into to marriage in my 20s because I was like, oh, my time's running out. I better snag one while I can, while the good ones still remain. Oh gosh, don't even get me started about the good ones, because what does that say about me? I'm bad? Is there something socially wrong with me? Probably. But you know what? I've met some difficult people beforehand, and they're married. Am I too nice? Just don't worry about relationships, because the right ones will come. Do not force it. Do not force it. That never works. It might work for a little bit, but as we see with Justin and Hailey Bieber, no, you don't want that. Number 3, this is controversial, and I think I said it wrong when I was talking about it over on TikTok, but your looks really do matter. I don't mean societal norms. I don't mean looking like everyone else. We do not like that. I mean, like, put effort into the clothes that you wear. Number 2, hygiene. Take a bath, wash your teeth. Wash, brush, put your teeth in a tub. Be healthy. To some people, being healthy is losing weight. To other people, being healthy is gaining weight. Weight doesn't matter. For me personally, I was really depressed during COVID. I let myself go. I treated my body like a garbage can. And so when I shared this story before, I was just talking about, losing weight. And that got taken the wrong way. And I apologize. That was really my bad, because in my journey, I experienced as soon as I started eating right, and I started moving. I went from sitting all day to moving routinely throughout the day. And that loses... I started losing weight that way. So that's my journey. But you cannot cheat being healthy. Your skin will not lie, the whites of your eyes will not lie, and your hair will not lie. There's no fast track to being healthy. There might be fast track to the results, but that's not being healthy. So you can't instead of doing one or the other, just doing both at the same time. So once I started actually putting my best foot forward, I started getting a lot of opportunities, and whatever price I asked for people in business, I was given that price, like in freelancing. And I really do think it's a combination of how people perceive me, and also the confidence that came from knowing that I look my best. Again, I don't mean being like everyone else, because no one likes the way that everyone has Instagram face. That's boring. Be you. Do not get body modifications in order to fit in. Oh my gosh. I think the tide is turning on that being trendy. You're so much more good looking than you think you are. Okay?
So if you want to make a remote income from home, and you're a beginner, meaning right now you
Bro, the guy on the screen is ugly as hell. Anyway,
that really does start which side point. You do have to master your mind a little bit. Now through preschool, through high school, I was just letting it rip. Any thought I had,
I'm not gonna
I
get
said
this
it. I
anytime.
was very quick with my mouth, not with my brain.
It's been a while since I used my guitar. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Get into Robert Greene and all these other self-help books. The first self-help book I read was You Are a Badass. Life changed, and then when I got depressed, the 2 books that got me out of it, they were they went hand in hand. Was first Eckhart Tolle's New Earth, and then the Untethered Soul. A New Earth was like the gateway drug, and then the Untethered Soul hit my brain like an ice pick on a little cube. It went, I'm free. I'm free.
It is slow.
And I wish I
if I did
had
slow,
that
it'd be
sooner,
easier.
because I wasted like a whole year in this break of depression. But what can you do? It's a rite of passage, I guess. I became who I am because of that. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Next, just don't buy any influence or anything. Any courses, any whatever. I got this one girl, God bless her. I'm sure she helped other people. Did not help me. This one influencer, she built my resume for $400. For $400? Before I knew AI was a thing? Back in 2021? What would I be doing with that $400 now? I don't know. Probably bought another course. It's just her email marketing got to me. And then I bought this other influencer course, wasted time. Everything that I learned, I could have learned online. Don't do it. Any other course, the person got to where they were because of many things that they cannot teach. That's the reality. They just want your money. Figure it out for yourself. This is what I'm currently trying to master. Your intuition is your compass. For example, I cannot be bothered to open LinkedIn. As soon as I open it, I have 5 minutes before my body fully shuts down, and I'm like a bear in hibernation. I'm like I might have to lay down, like a Victorian woman having a spell. But I could do one out of 2 things. I could trudge through it and just shake it off and be like, oh, whatever, everyone feels this way. You still have to do it because it's the way the world works. Or 2, I could go, he thinks this is a sign. I'm going to look other places. I'm gonna stop and do what makes me feel alive, and not like I want to lay down. For the last 8 years, I've been doing the first one. I was like, everyone feels this way. I just have to trudge through it. I do it, Madison. You little wuss. This is the course of my life. I can't be mad about it, but if I was to just follow my intuition, where would I be? Who would I know?
Not living in your parents' house while being 28. Anyway.
Intuition. But when it comes to letting myself fully be an artist, not like I'm an artist and
I'm an artist
I'm
too.
in corporate. there's nothing wrong with that. Oh my gosh, a lot of people have to make their money that way, and that's a legit way. And actually, it makes a whole lot of money. There's a reason why people do it, right? But for me, it's not working anymore. It's like the world is performing an exorcism on me every single time I open that gosh darn app. And I'm reading this book right now called Mastery by Robert Greene, and he talks about this concept too of like you need
to
to
take like a
follow
5-second break to
intuition,
calm down before you continue.
because that is God-given, that is placed in you, and you will go so much further. Like the whole book
I can't do that. I forgot the
all
melody
these
really quickly.
masters who just followed their
I don't know
obsession,
about memory, I just
and
had
they would
dementia.
not
2 different
be
things.
where they were if they were like, oh, I just gotta get a job. I just gotta get a job. No, forget all this stuff. Forget all my inclinations. Or like, I'm just gonna do this maybe like once a week, once a year. Do what you're obsessed with. And if you don't know what you're obsessed with, put down the phone. You will know as soon as you let yourself get bored. You need a little detachment. I'm speaking from the choir. Follow your intuition. Your intuition is your compass. Everyone has a different compass. Also, you have to let all elements of your life flow. I know you want to hold on to that person, but there's a reason why they actually need to leave your life. You're not going to know immediately. It might take you a year, and then you look them up on Facebook and you go, oh, that's why we kind of fell off. Or maybe it's not going to be so obvious why that person.
I wonder if you could hear this more than the guitar. Probably not. The guitar's loud. Oh, it's having a ukulele. I was using that first, but I was like, not enough keys.
Let go of that certain time of your past and
the
move
G majors
forward.
and whatnot.
The
guitar's from 4th grade, by the way. We're meant to give it back. I never did. Just stole it.
I cannot do an office job. I can't. I'm not meant for the office. Dude, I still can't spell certain words. I have a form of dyslexia. And also a speech impediment. All great things that the workforce needs. But when I realized there was so much more exciting and fulfilling and creatively intriguing world outside of theater, I had 2 options. And they were both very scary. 1, I ignore everything I saw because I went on a solo trip to Paris. And I was like, whoa, the world. So when I came back, I was like, okay, I can ignore every single thing I just felt and experienced. And just stop thinking about that and go back to the way things were and the way my life was. Or I can leave. I don't like memorizing lines. I have to do this for the rest of my life. Let's be so serious. I don't want to do this.
If I could do one full loop, I can't answer when. For the record, I don't play guitar usually.
So I did it for a year.
I make beats. I sample beats and put them on a keyboard. If I use guitars, I either get mine out and do like a.
That hurt like a horse, and it wasn't for anything else.
Or I'd just use synths instead because I like synths my songs more. Or just sample synths. I'm a big sampler. I can't lie to you.
I've ever experienced to like real heartbreak.
An MPC man.
Again, your intuition is your compass. As soon as you know something,
fuck.
Do it. Do it. You can delay it, but I promise you that little voice does not go away. You can waterboard it with more money, from your career. But that thing that you want to do will always be there. In fact, I don't know if you guys know her. I love her personally. Sorelle Lamore is a famous YouTuber on here. She recently put out a video that I watched yesterday. Now she's in her mid-30s, but she always had this dream of being a musician, and she just did not do it. And now she's in her 30s. She said she didn't want to, but she said she still has that desire, that dream.
I may start recording before I even finish this melody.
But she feels
like
my
melody. This is
Kanye's song. That's an example of that little voice of what you want to do, like your little intuition gremlin, will always be there. So you just better give him a good shot. Give him your time of day and see what happens, because you just could be the next master that Robert Greene will be talking about in his next book. Who's to say? I'm going to end with a quick little speed run. Number 1, gossiping never looks good on people. Never. Number 2, track your cycle. It is time. Track your cycle. Number 3, remember, to have good friends, you need to be a good friend. It all starts with you. Don't be pointing, be
That's
like, well,
fair.
they didn't do that.
I've been an awful person. I made a great friend.
No. The only thing you should be keeping track of is you. Be a good friend. Number 4, less talking, more actions. Please. No one wants to hear it if you haven't done it. And number 5, please wear sunscreen. Just don't forget to share with the class what you wish you could tell your younger self down in the comments, because there's definitely things I'm missing. These are just like the top things I wish I could take myself by the shoulders and go, come on, snap out of it. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye. Procrastination isn't your fault.
I'm not procrastinating. I'm literally working right now. These videos go by in a jiffy. By the way, I know the what's it called, the tone, key, whatever the fuck. It's not correct on some of the strings, but I don't care. Pardon me. Also, I don't have my hands on. You know, like, see, I know how to play guitar like professionally. I know like you have to like put your hands on like the strings and stuff. I don't do that. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. I'm just practicing right now. I want to actually like make like a full rock song, acoustic song. But I'm just trying to do my shit. The song goes on for so long. I'll put up a video. Wait, I want you to do van life or live in a van? Hell no. She made a video saying I quit van life. Why would I? It's like YouTubers giving people advice and then like, so I mean you can't trust these YouTubers, man. There's so many YouTubers out there who just like, who have no life experience yet give people like life tips. It's just so stupid.
To be human is to have haters. You're doing anything.
I watch these videos, but I don't like get anything off certificates on them. Like this is like basic advice.
Like
99% of these channels. I don't know why they get recommended to me. Probably because I watch them in the background, but I do actually
It's just a fact of life. But we can consume all of this feel good content. Like it's okay to have haters, but when it actually happens to us, we can be like, why me? No, get it. Everyone, please. You don't understand what you're missing out on. You will never understand, but that's not the point. The point is, you have to guard yourself mentally when these attacks happen, because they will, or they're probably already happening. It could be either from like close friends or family that you find out are talking bad about you, or like random strangers on the internet that will just poke holes in anything that you post. And we'll get into why that should not bother you in a hot second. But to be human is to have haters, and we can either let that destroy us or make us stronger. I'm all about being stronger, so I'm going to share with you how I have built a mental fortress that no hater can get through. So let's get into it. And also I want to preface this by saying, did you know that Lady Gaga had a Facebook group about her that was like Lady Gaga's real name?
All you need to potentially start trading profitably is a laptop, an internet connection, and 1 hour a day. If you have these 3 things and you want to learn how to trade, I will show you.
What are all these
You will
adverts?
never be famous. And now look at her. She has the record-breaking. Gaga had a Facebook group about her that was like Lady Gaga's real name. You will never be famous. And now look at her. She has the record-breaking concert in Brazil. And where are those people who made that Facebook group? If you are getting hated on, you're in good company, because so was Lady Gaga. Number one, I want you to realize it's not that serious. People are so fickle. And this is going to be a reoccurring theme, but I feel like many things in life, you need to beat it into your head until you fully understand it. But like, it's not that serious. If people talk about you, so what? The world goes on spinning, the sun will still go up, grass will grow, babies will be born, and someone just said something bad about you. And guess what? That person that said that thing won't even remember it tomorrow. Like, they're so consumed in their own world, which goes into our second point. Like, people are so more
Jay said this before.
about themselves than you. Like, at the end of the day, we are our own little stars in our own productions, and us saying something bad about someone else isn't coming out of a place of, like, being obsessed with them. There are a few instances, but not always. Like, these haters online are not all consumed with the hate. Like, even Benson Boone at the moment is getting a lot of hate online. Me, I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of his music and whatever, but I'm not waking up being like, I must end Benson Boone. Like, what the heck? That's crazy. And if they are, number 3, you have to.
I don't want to be a musician, by the way. I'm going to
saying
university
bad
for
things
graphic
about you
design.
or hating you, are they more
what
successful
she
than
is.
you? Are they living the life that you want? If not, their words don't mean anything. What's that one saying? It's stupid for a bee to convince a fly that honey is better than poop. You can't convince people who are not on your path
I'm still locked
or
in.
not like you that you are likable or valid or good or whatever. You just can't convince them because they're in a whole different stratosphere. So of course, sometimes being hated on by certain people is a compliment. So you just have to really consider the source. Number 4,
You
I
could
hate to
just,
say
like,
it, but
totally
the
kill
longer I
themselves,
live,
yeah.
the more it's true. Only people who discuss people on the regular and have nothing else to talk about but gossip are ugly people, inside and out. I don't mean just having like a societally weird nose or no fashion sense. It's just like it exudes from the inside out, this ugliness. And you only really clock it once you've been around it. And it's like, oh, okay, so what are we going to discuss? Oh, more high school people? Okay, karma for sure. But if you are putting out gossip, if you're putting out hate, if you're putting out all this negativity in the world, you know what's gonna come into your world? Peace and love? Methinks no, good sir. And it can be very alluring and very tempting and very easy because it just is.
She's like Lord. She has like a very like kind of
spew hatred towards other
like
people.
old face, but she's not old. She's
The harder
28.
it is to look down on
She's
them
like really
because
young.
you understand where they came from. You understand, you know, this is how their brain works and their struggles.
That's something
and
I
whatnot.
fear,
It's
I fear
not
by the
just
way. Like I
finished
cannot be
product. It's the
looking
whole
like
process. It's that whole history
old
that
when I'm
makes
like
this
still young.
person.
I
In the
can't be
moment when
looking.
you see
I can't have
someone, you only
wrinkles
have
like
a
all over
few
my
pieces of
face until I'm like at
evidence.
least 50.
So it's
I can't
really
lie to you.
ignorant to see
In my
someone
head
be like,
grace,
"You know
I
everything
might
about
die.
you." Maybe there's characteristics
That's
or traits
my
from
biggest
other
fear.
people that you've met
You gotta
before
be
that really do
at
align
peace.
with this type of person. But in general, like
Don't
maybe
no
don't.
one. You know.
Maybe be
Talk
curious to
to
get
a
to know them, or
microphone,
just like
to the voice
don't
memos
cast
out,
judgments
but
so soon, or maybe cast
all
like
good.
mild judgments. Easier said than done. I understand. I'm not looking down when I'm talking about
It's
this.
my,
I'm preaching from the choir.
last week of college
Okay,
today.
but
I'm
whenever I
rolling
find
in on
myself with
Thursday
this
to
very
sign off.
like,
I'm not gonna
gut
say goodbye
punch
to anyone. I'm
reaction
gonna
of
walk
how I
in,
should
tell the
treat
teacher
someone, I have to,
sign me off now,
always
and I'm
remove
leaving.
my own fist
Fuck
from
college.
my stomach and go, actually, I don't know that much about them, so like, why am I so busy being like, and also,
There are cool
do you
people in my
want doing
college,
that
but
to
like
you? Do you want
my
someone
teachers
being
just like
like,
piss me
first
off. I don't want
glance,
to
I
see
know
any of them
everything
anymore.
about you, so why do you do that to other people? What you put out, is what you get back in. So if you put out understanding, patience, love, dare I say it, that is what you will get back. Maybe not
Ooh.
instantly, maybe not immediately, but that will eventually come into your return sooner than later and more often than not. 6. When people tell you who they are, believe them. Now, this goes beyond our topic today, but per se you have someone in your life and you know their best friend and they come to you and they're complaining relentlessly about their best friend. And I'm all about, you know, getting out your grievances and maybe you need a second opinion from someone. Totally okay. It's like that fine line, and I don't really know, I don't think I'm the best person to give an exact definition of this. There just comes a point where it's like no longer trying to get advice, and it's just like bad mouthing. And that's when I get kind of like, okay, maybe you should just talk to them. But if someone's doing that to their friends, they're probably doing that to you as well. So, you know, when people tell you who they are, you need to believe them. Next, something that really gives me peace of mind whenever I find myself in these life or death situations, at least my nervous system is like, this is life or death, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's literally just like, you know, humans being humans. Is that people will forget. People forget so fast, me included. Like, it's like one ear out the other. You just really get on this topic, and then it goes. Like, think about the drama that you had in college. Are people still talking about it? Hopefully not. But like, it's not that big of a deal. Which in the moment back then,
there've been my college peoples, my classmates. They've been talking about this one guy who left like in the first like 2 months for the past 2 years we've been
there. It
there.
can happen again, and the same is true that it can happen again with the kind of like people forget it and time moves on and the world goes around still. Try piecing that. Also, do you think stars like I don't know Nicole Kidman are worried about what their hometown is saying about them? No, because she's too busy, like, in movies and doing things and being successful. Same with you. Like, people are going to talk regardless, and it's one thing to just know about it, but, like, to be obsessed about it, again, like, tell myself this, but, like, to try to catch everything or trying to get in the know and see what people are saying about you, trying to get on the pulse, it's none of your business. That is their business. They're talking about an idea of you that probably no longer exists. So in theory, that really shouldn't bother us so much. They're like, oh, they're talking about me. Like, no, they're talking about the person who's dead. No one who's not on this earth anymore. Past version of you. So said and done, once again. This is one of my more controversial takes, but I still very much stand by it. You need to forgive, don't forget. You cannot hold on to it. Do not hold on to it. But also, don't put yourself in the same situations for it to happen again. I don't mean don't forget as in hold on to it forever. Forgive, let it go, but don't go back to that person the same way you did before. Next, something that we don't talk about enough is that love and hate are kind of like similar extremes. If someone didn't care about you, they will forget you, or like not talk about you, or you know, leave you alone, just breeze on by. But the fact that these people are ruminating about you and you keep coming up in conversations and you know they're kind of obsessed with you in a way, like yes, I can joke to be like they're obsessed with you, but like they are kind of obsessed with you. That is a form of love.
That's cute. Yeah, I like when people talk about me.
That is a form of devotion.
Like damn, like I'm in your head all day.
Things, but at the end
Hashtag
of the day,
dick rider.
like, dare I say it's a form of love, and you have to remember that the people that really don't care about you are not watching your Instagram story. The people who really don't care about you aren't trying to see what you're up to. This is gonna sound super like hoobity-doobity, boobity-woobity-wop, but it is like a rite of passage to get hate on in order to become someone, or like to
struck on the head at a construction site and developed the incredibly rare disorder of hysterical blindness. He was unable to see anything for 8 years. When I began working with him, it took some months before he could start to see images again, and then eventually one day in a session, he could see his wife's face. How did I do it? I've been studying the human mind for 30 years. In the early 90s, I had a comedy hypnosis show that was watched by hundreds of millions of people all over the world.
To be human is to have haters. When you have more eyes on you, you're gonna have a lot more people like you. Of course, your vibe attracts your tribe, but also you'll get a lot more of the negative stuff as well. It's just so easy just to focus on the negative people and be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, like I have so many haters, instead of, categorizing that and going, sweet, not taking it personally. I'm gonna focus on my, 12 followers that I have. Focus on my 12 devoted disciples rather than the whole empire of Rome, because these guys are gonna write a book about me, and I'm gonna be around a lot longer than the Roman Empire. If you know, you know. Also, one of my last points, I have to say, this is kind of hard to navigate because, maybe we love these types of people, but in my experience, I would feel like a bad friend if I didn't tell you this. But there is one type of person in life that you really should cut off, immediately. Probably block them. I don't understand why people are so sensitive to block them. They're like, oh no, I'll never do that. And I'm just like, okay, Snow White, this is your life. You can't let the big bad wolf into your personal life if they make you feel sad, bad, or any type of blanket and negative emotion. You probably shouldn't see what you're up to. You might not believe this, or maybe you cringe at this thought, but it is a privilege to know what's going on with your life. It wasn't up until very recently in society that we had no idea what was going on day to day, weeks to weeks, months to months with people, unless we were writing or keeping up with them on the telephone. The real telephone, not phone. So blocking them is really just reverting to the natural state of things. Call me crazy. Are welcome. If there's one person that you should block and just not talk to them, there's a person in your life that is a friendship cycle. Really nice. And there's going to be some drama happens, and then they don't talk to you, or you find out they're talking bad about you. Maybe you try to confront them, or time passes and everything goes back to normal, and you feel in the perfect, and that cycle keeps continuing. Stop. Please, if you're not able to have conversations with your friends, be like, hey, I heard you said this, that made me feel X, Y, Z, how can I fix this? Or hey, I know I messed up, I should have done this, I'm sorry I did, how can I make you, if there's not some type of constructive conversation, and it just goes on by, people are going to happen, or when you do try to confront them, they go, what are you talking about? After you've seen evidence of them ripping into you, this happened to me once, and I held on to this relationship with the person, and God bless this person, everyone is changing life, but it's not like 10 months or just make them into this monster that they're not, they're just that's the way they go about life.
I'm gonna keep
I don't want to live that. I want to have constructive
I don't know if
friends.
you can
So
hear
if
me
something
over
happens
with,
again, I know I
but
can't do that. You don't have to worry about what are they spreading about me? What's going on?
That was not much
That's
of
just
it.
me. Maybe some people do really
If
like
I
the
could hear
dramatic
that.
thing, or maybe that's all
Hopefully,
they
if
know.
you
But I
could,
like to
I'm
get to the point
sorry.
and see how I could be a better friend to you and how to, build a friendship up rather than being flipping the bird.
I wonder if I
don't
do
wanna
that one
do
song. You know the Big L Jay-Z freestyle?
Please handle it with care, guys. Whatever I don't comment. Or someone disrespects me in real life. Best things happen when I didn't overreact. Easier said than done. I heard the person out. I didn't try to speak over them. I took an honest look at myself and go, okay, what can I change? And then for hate comments, they love it when you don't.
I feel like
take it
that
seriously,
take time
so
too.
just leave a little LOL or block them. If someone's gonna be mean once online, they're gonna be
I'll do
mean
that
again. So
again.
just get rid of it. They should not have the privilege of watching you flourish online. Anyways, guys, those are my tools for my little mental toolkit. Let me know if there's anything that I missed or something that has helped you in the past. I'm gonna go outside because it's a lovely day, and I'm going to make another cup of coffee. Stay well, be well, live life. We're there. Next week, Rebecca It's Friday, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
See this number right here? This is the interest rate that this person agreed to. But what they didn't tell you is that hidden inside this contract is extra commission that they took without your
did it stop? Oh shit!
If you're young and
I've been
it's a bad
distracted. This is
financial
fun.
decision or bad business decision or just a bad career decision, I want you to know that I spent the last 5 years of my 20s traveling solo, and I've made the most amount of money I've ever made in my whole life the moment I decided to stop traveling. And I'm going to get into it on how you can do the same and why you should just travel now and seriously worry about the money later, like you're on TikTok travel. Here's the things you need to know about me. Let's get right into it. Number one, the biggest thing that peeves me to my core is when people say, Madison, I don't have the money. Madison, I don't have the time. Madison, I don't. I understand. Instead of me making this video 20 minutes long to context collapse the living heck out of this, so if anyone leaves a comment being like, but what if you're not thinking of, and what about this context? You need to read what context collapse is.
Oh,
and come
fuck.
back to this video. I'm just gonna say LOL if you don't.
It's the most
Here's
basic
the thing.
like shit ever. By
Those
the way,
excuses
don't.
are real.
I know-
If you
I'm not,
really
like,
wanna
shocked at
travel,
this.
You will find a way. As soon as you get the desire to travel, you don't have to do it right now. You can wait a little bit, save up your money, and go. There's nothing wrong with waiting a year or two to get to a point where you can allow yourself to travel without stressing the heck out. And maybe, it comes to a point where you aren't traveling and you are stressed the heck out. But one thing we have to understand is that NFL players are not daydreaming about being painters. They're dreaming about being NFL players. The same way is that when God or the universe, what have you, gives you this desire, you would be a fool to be like swatted out of the hands and be like, that's not for me. Look at all the stuff I have to deal with. That desire was given to you, so you need to act like it. And especially if it comes back.
No, dude, no,
Because
dude,
sometimes
it's fine.
I see stuff and I'm like, wow, I desire that, and it turns out just to be like a mimic desire. It's not really what I want. But if it comes back time and time again, that is literally the universe being like, this is for you, my child. This is for you, my child. This is for you. And you go, this is your sign. You need to get that from me. And I'm saying this with peace and love. Peace and love, right? At the end of the day, this advice I wish I could give my younger self, like 18, 19-year-old self, because it took a while for me to really get up the courage to solo travel because I had no one in my life that was traveling solo young. I have to admit, if you know, you know, I found David and Joe my junior year of college, and I watched all their videos, especially the Paris videos, and I was like, what? People my age are traveling? This is possible? And I watched it to a point where you know what? In a couple of years, I didn't document in terms of a travel blogger. I tried that. Those videos are private. I just became the young person that traveled, and my life was so much better for it. That was the universe being like, Madison, this is for you. And I just swatted out of the hand, but now I'm like, thank you so much. You're so thoughtful. So anyways, excuses aside, we need to talk about something that's really serious, or something that we can talk about and give you solutions to. Number one, people think you need a big budget to travel, but you just need to know how to budget. Where there's a will, there's a way, and money can be stretched.
Yeah, tell that to
Especially when you're
go say that
young,
to some
you
African
have the
people in like
ability
Nepal or
to
some shit.
live a little cheaply. Now, if you're used to bougie and nice stuff, I guess that's when you can go ring a
Whatever,
ding
you
ding
know,
on
dude.
dad. But if you're like me, who had to
Some
earn
of
your
the
own
like
money,
high key.
you can make such a vacation out of $500. You don't have to go far. You just have to be smart about it. Do your research on the areas that you can afford. Use sites like Hostel World and Skyscanner. I know people talk about Google Flights, but I've done the research, and Skyscanner always beats Google Flights. Okay, you might have 3 connections, but if you're 21, your body can handle it. Now that I'm approaching my 30s, I'm like, yeah, give me a direct flight. I will drop an extra 100 or 2 just to get there in one go. And also, before we get any further, guys, over tourism is a thing. I feel like it would be irresponsible for me not to say this, and I feel like the people who need to hear this are not going to be watching this video. I feel like the smart people are watching this video. Please do your research. Is it over tourism? Is it over visited already? Probably skip it because it's going to be more expensive. If you're in it for the experience and the culture and being really immersed, not just having like as an American like an Epcot version of traveling, do a little bit more research and find those places that are less tourism out and welcoming, because you don't want to go where you're not welcome to. Learn the language. I don't care if it's hello,
It's a bit different
goodbye,
key. Also
how
not saying
much,
that.
thank you, please. Know it. There's no excuse to be forcing English on people. Now, if they talk to you in English, that's great, but like come knowing that they speak a different language, and also just be respectful. Again, I feel like you guys know not to do this, but I don't want anyone to be like, oh, you're promoting over tourism. No, I'm promoting getting out of your hometown. Where you go is up to the viewer, but still, it needs to be said. Let's get back into it. Now we're going to start off with non-money benefits of why I think all young people should travel. Number one, you're going to kill your FOMO like that. When I was growing up, I grew up in a retirement town. Hey, Fort Myers. When I grew up, I was not rebellious. I did not have a rebellious phase. I did not have too many romantic prospects that, my parents had to shoo away with a broom.
Same.
I was boring schmoring, and I knew it. And I'm just talking about myself. I don't have to be like, no, you weren't. I saw people do things like go to a nightclub or go traveling or XYZ, have a boyfriend, I was like, it was less of like, how dare you, and more like, how dare me.
I keep messing it up.
Not live
I'm not professional,
life fully. Where
as
are
you can
these
tell.
experiences? Why
I think that's
am
pretty self-explanatory. I
And
think
then I
it's
solo
pretty clear at this
traveled,
point.
and then I got to experience that. And then I got to experience my first romance.
What if
and I
I-
was like, phew, now I know what that's like. And I think this is just like life.
I don't even know what to
Like,
upload this on.
This happens as you get older,
For
you live more. But
anyway,
that
I have
all
like
happened at once
50
when I
billion
traveled.
different YouTube
And now when I
channels.
see that on my Instagram or just see it online, I'm like, oh,
Should-
nice.
Should I post this on
don't get
Instagram?
like,
Nah,
why am I
nah,
not there?
nah.
I
This
need
is
to live it.
trash.
Like, I know what that's like. Nah, I'm not too interested.
I know people on Instagram.
Sometimes
I have
things
like
like
friends who
whoever
actually are like
do
good at
that.
guitar.
But
They
now I
could
know
they cannot
to
watch
make
this.
plans
They will like
and
actually
make
cry.
things. And I have friends that I know I can invite to go with it, and so we can make this happen.
Even though I post like a clip or
But
whatever. No
killing
way.
FOMO fast makes you more of a focused person and makes you more like horse blinders and less distracted. Another very short example, I had a friend who did not travel all of their 20s up until like,
fucking
what,
up.
26? And so when I went to go visit them, they're like, guys, I'm going to go on this great adventure. I don't know if I'm going to come back. I want to move across to Europe. And I was like, great, go for it. And hearing all these expectations that she had, I wanted to take and go, hey, it's not really like that. Or hey, it's not what you think. But as humans, we need to experience it for ourselves before we like understand it. We can understand it here, but until you understand it here, you're not going to make the change and you're not really going to believe it. I think the word is what I'm looking for. So after she went away on her little trip, she came back and she was like, Madison, actually, I really like it here. I was like, yeah, not like a I know better than you, but just like that's the process. And you can only understand that by going out and traveling. That is one of the biggest blessings that traveling young has given me. Number two, you're not really knowing it at the moment, but looking back, solo traveling and just traveling while you're young
It feels dry.
builds up a lot of
to do.
self-confidence. That can look like, just being outside of your comfort zone, trying new food, trying to learn a new language, going places that you didn't have plans for before, and being adaptable and going with the flow. In
that's
that,
okay.
you're like building up a self-confidence. And I don't know how that just works. It's just when I was home, and I traveled, and I came back, I realized I was not the same person. And looking back, it's like, oh yeah, well, I experienced all these crazy things, all these crazy stories, and I proved to myself that I could do things. I proved to myself that, I could do things that I thought or was told that I couldn't. So
Always do what you wanna
self-confidence is something that
Whether
money
you're good or
cannot
bad at
buy.
it, you'll
So
you'll
now
learn
let's
to
talk
get
about
better
money.
with time.
How people think that you need to
You'll
go
get better with
into a
time
career
if you actually
such as
practice and take effort
college
into
and
it.
stay till you die,
Unlike me.
or if it's
We're-
actually
we're
possible
playing
to
guitar.
make a living for yourself after traveling for
Also, I know
a
this
amount of
melody is
time.
ass, but
I'm
I'm
gonna
just-
break it
I
down,
just
and
like
these are
it.
things that helped me understand and like.
The other thing, the way I know I'm playing guitar like probably really
that I
different
am
from how
making now.
people would actually
Number
play
one,
it.
you have
It's
to
because I have the
recognize
mindset of
this.
like
what
if
those
it was like
financial people were
synths.
saying about that trend of,
Because the way I do
I'll make the
keys, I only do keys and
multi-millionaire,
synths.
but
So
I'll
when I
never be
play
20 in
my
Indonesia.
guitar, I treat it as
Keep
if
on,
it's just like a
you
synth
gotta
pad.
do
On my
something
keyboard or
now
something.
because time horizon is important. And time
Because on
horizon is
keys, you just
more
go.
important than money. That's true. Before anything, before you get on that flight, I want you to open up a Roth IRA.
Or something
I
like that.
use Vanguard, but you
You
can
may
use
go like-
whatever. And I want you to put
You may do that.
$100 in the market and invest it. Putting it into your brokerage account is not investing. You're just giving yourself essentially chips to play with, right? But you have to put those chips in a game in order to play the game, in order for it to go up or down. It's gonna go up if you leave it there longer. I really wish I did that before I traveled. I put in money in the middle of traveling because I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna live long. I really thought that I wasn't gonna need retirement because I thought I wasn't going to live that long. Not out of like some death thing, but just like I could not conceptualize.
My goal is to do one
this
4-bar. I want to do one
17,
4-bar,
20s. And then when I realized
which is
this
like
a
16
long
seconds
day,
of just
I
this
then
without fucking
invested
up.
my money.
That's all I
But
want to do.
anyways, do put some
I'll
investments
stop it.
into your Roth IRA before getting on a plane. That's my advice. Okay, take it or leave it. But Madison, we
Oh
need to
my
make
God,
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna
Oh my
kill myself.
gosh, like how else are you gonna travel? Now, I should go without saying.
This isn't even
it's wild
hard.
on the internet, and they were just gonna
It's just
throw
my
accusations,
point of
but
view.
I
It's
travel
my
with my own
POV.
money, always. I was not gifted anything. I come from a middle class background, but your girl still needed to pay for stuff. I still have all my own
I'm gonna
bills,
crash out.
okay? So please. And for the
Fine,
first
fine,
two
okay.
trips, I just did it off of my savings.
$1 billion, I'll
I
get
was
it
like,
this
okay,
time.
I wanna
$1 billion,
travel for a
I'll
long
lock
time,
in.
but I don't
I'll actually
want
lock in.
to
I won't,
burn up all my
but
savings. What can I do in order to
believe in
travel
me.
and work at the same time? Ding, ding, ding. Remote work, which became so much more prevalent after COVID, or so much of a real thing after COVID. Thank God. Like the one thing that we got
Look at
right
myself.
from that time was
No,
legitimizing
that was a
remote
practice
work,
run.
and yet they want us to come back. But that's not gonna happen. At that time, I was really good at social media, and I was doing it for a few friends and family, and I just turned that into my own social media business. And I was doing that for the last, well, I've been doing it for the last 5 years. So if you're savvy online, or if you're not, but you're interested, highly suggest to teach yourself, do it for free, and then make a business out of it once you're good at it. And that's how I've been able to travel. Because listen,
No!
like, you make money, then you travel. You make money, then you travel. You can make yourself out. It really is possible. It's more possible. It's just not going to happen as fast as you may think it needs to. Oh, I know, I cry every time when I think about it. Just a small point, but it's still relevant. Traveling young has exposed me to more different ways of making money than I had known before. Because long story short, I worked at a hostel in Lisbon for 3 months, and I met a lot of different people coming in and out, in and out. You know, I just met a lot of people who were doing cool stuff, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of ways to make money, not just like corporate, not just like the things I know.
I'm just laying down now and
so
give
that
up.
was really eye-opening. And also something
I
else that's
failed.
really
I
good
didn't
to
do
know
it.
at a young age is the concept of working to live, not living to work. In the US, where I'm from, we really live to work. Our lives are so based around working. I wonder why that is. Just kidding, I know why. We all do. Whereas in other countries, and dare I say the majority of the world, people are working to live. Their work is their work, and they approach life from such a more relaxed state than we do. And so realizing that was an option. Because listen, at that time, I was coming from New York into Lisbon, working at this hostel, and at that time, I was working with people who worked with.
This is Intralog, and here is why you need it. In the modern age, you would think attaching your phone to a bike would be easy. It's not. The cases? Ugly. The mounts frustrating to align, and on a random occasions, this happens. That's why 3 of our best engineers, Simon, Nick, and Daniel, came together to solve it all. But how hard could it be? Turns out it's really hard. Like 18 months of terrible samples, unresponsive factories, and feeling like this was a big mistake hard. But after everything, they did it. Introducing Mouse Intralog, the next generation of mechanical phone accessories. Unlike bulky competitors, our cases are designed with 38 highly engineered parts, including an array of magnets guiding the case onto the mount, which is then secured by mechanical teeth, allowing you to attach your phone without any effort. Not only that,
I thought this
but
sounded
also
good.
air
There's no way the video is over again.
So, and then 3 hours
I was like, there's no way.
having a beer.
You just started.
Nursing a beer until it gets so warm
Oh,
that,
that's what annoyed you.
is this
That's a
tea?
good
And I
thing,
really
though.
enjoyed it because at that time, as most New Yorkers experience, you get burned out very fast and then you're just like, I need out of it. It's just like a self-eject button. People leave for vacation. I left to volunteer. And the first month was great. After that, I was like, this is so slow. I can't do this. I can do this in like 20 years. Not right now. I love the fast pace. Turns out I really like it. Turns out I just need a more balanced life. I need the slows and highs and slows and highs. Or slow and fast, slow and fast. Hello. But knowing that that's out there and that is an option is like, I don't know. It just seems like most of these points is the more you know, the more you know. But that's the case. Because like I said before, you can know everything up here, but until you experience it, it's not true. Like your body does not believe it. You do not believe it. If we were able to read all the solutions to every problem ever and follow it, we would have way less problems as a society and humans in general. It's so much in our nature to not really understand until we go through things, which I just made something so profound sound so cheap. But it's true. If you know, you know. Literally. This is a weird thing to take from traveling, but really, like, I understand that marketing yourself is everything. There's so many people that I met who dressed a certain way, and I was like, oh, surely they're snobbish. But yeah, and yet they're the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. I'm like, wow, that's not me for judging, but the way they presented themselves was so much in this one flavor, or in this one section that I totally believed it. And the same as like for restaurants, so bougie looking, so decked out, you would think that it's really opulence, and the food was garbage. The food was garbage, and you know what was the best place? It was like this run-down little cafe, had the best cakes and best coffees, but tourists like myself, we don't know because we're looking at the marketing. We're looking at what we know and what we perceive in our brain to be this cool place or like something reliable. Marketing is everything, and that really told me
I thought I keep missing that
like,
now.
how I should market myself. and
Oh,
how I
I'm
should
blind by the way.
price
I don't have my
myself.
glasses. I can't see.
Because that's another thing.
That's the
People
next
will
excuse.
treat you the way you treat yourself. So if you allow yourself to talk down about yourself, or you allow yourself to, you know, not hygienically or fitness-wise take care of yourself, people are going to associate you in a certain way. Same with the other side of the coin. If you speak highly of yourself, and if you take effort in the way you look, and listen, when I say how you look, that's physically, right? Like being healthy with your body, and we also need to hygienically take care of ourselves and look good with our clothes. That's the extent of what I'm saying. So that's like not something that I hear all the time from traveling, but from meeting a lot of people and thinking that you know them and it turns out you don't. How you present yourself to other people is how they perceive you, and you have that totally within your control. Hey. And for what you guys are waiting for, here's the numbers, here's the proof. If you're wondering, like, Madison, I started to travel when I'm young because I think I want to, advance my career and these milestones and whatnot. I was the same way. I want to tell you something. invest in myself and my business. That was the first quarter that every single month I made $7,000. The most money I've ever made in my life. Now, that was for freelancing, okay? It just, the stars aligned, and I was like, wow, thank you, God, this is great. And to keep on the truth trade, I do not make that much money anymore because, number one, a singer is not seasoned, so I only have 2 gigs instead of 9 gigs. And the freelance business is kind of been put to the side because it turns out that's not really what I want to do with my life. So as soon as you know, hey, I don't want to do this with my life, you should stop it immediately.
Stop what?
Because guess what? Your life keeps going. Your life keeps going after that realization.
I should still
So
talk
it's
about this.
insanity to know it.
I'm glad we watched these videos, by the way. I'm not lying. I've not watched
If it's in
this.
your
I've
control,
heard
obviously,
this
and
thing.
it wasn't my control. And also, like, they sent me to the hospital. My job literally
Can't
sent me
you?
to the hospital. So I was like, I can't do that. I don't want to be afraid of heart attacks all the time. So that's what's happened to me. And I'm having a great time redirecting my efforts. But it's so nice to be here, focusing on work, focusing on life, and not being distracted with, like, I should just take off. I should just take off and, like, throw it all away. I really don't know what my brain would be saying to myself if I haven't gotten out all of my adventureness right now. And you know what? To some people, they never get that out. They just travel for the rest of their life, and that's great. Everyone is different. This is just my story. And I don't want anyone to stop themselves from traveling because I think it's going to be a bad career decision. Listen, I cannot tell you what the cards are in your deck of life. All I know is that if you delay what the universe has given you, once again, you're beautiful. Hey, editing Madison here. For some reason, my outro did not record, so I have to say hi or goodbye here. But I hope this helped. And, like, guys, once you realize I cannot make this true for you, you have to make it true for you. But once you realize all your power starts here, and I understand the struggle because I went through it. Please don't assume anything about me. Like, where I am now is not where I've been always. Once I changed my thoughts and my perception of what life could be for myself, that's when all the change happened. Don't neglect the power of thought. You can't will your way out of the life that you have. You can't, like, make manifestations and go to bed and expect to wake up and everything's changed. You have to make the manifestations and then act on it. Like, period, okay? Don't listen to people who think you need to have a certain way of living. You decide the life you want to live and then act accordingly. I love you guys. See you in the next one. Let me know if this helps or if you have any questions. Okay. Ciao.
Honey, I found something I think is really gonna help you. Come check this out. Whoa, let me try. Cool! And look, it's got all kinds of songs you can play. Ooh, I want that one. See, you can practice for your lesson with whatever you want. Okay, Mom, I think I'll take it from here. Oh, okay, sure, enjoy.
Only got 32 minutes to go.
Shut up, bro. "20 minutes. Hell no. One last video. That'll stop.
You would not believe it, but the other day, me and my mom were cleaning out the
Okay.
garage, which you see before us. Had to chop. And most of the things
What a
that
lady.
needed to be cluttered out were mine. I will admit, I just hoarded a bunch of stuff. Anyways, the point is, in the rubble, all my things, I found a journal from 2023. 2023. This one had a very clear front page, and it was my bucket list for 2023. And when I read it, I stopped in my tracks, and a wave of sadness came over me. Not because I wrote down my heartbreak. No. It's because on this 2023 bucket list, I have the same exact goals that I do for the year 2025. Yeah, let me read them. Okay, so the first one is 10,000 subs on YouTube, which is about to happen. Okay. Number 2, get a brand deal for $5,000, 5K, 10K on Instagram, 50K on TikTok. Then we get out of the numbers and just like general things I aspire to be. When I read this, my brain was like, that was 2 years ago, which is not a lot of time. 2 years is like what? 2 years? Like, it's not 10 years, it's not 5 years. But if I do the same thing that I've always have done, I'm afraid my 2023 goals would be the same as my 2030 goals.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to happen. Not on my watch.